It's time for our Nailers profile brought to you by Unified Bank. And tonight we talk with Nailers defenseman Adam Smith. And Adam, coming off of your first goal of the season, got to do it against your team from last year, the Florida Everblades. How exciting was that for you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was kind of waiting a little bit longer than I had hoped to finally score, but it was definitely bittersweet scoring against your old team.
To play against a team that is where they are in the standings like Florida is, and to be able to have that much of a dominating performance in the Wednesday game, what does that do for your group this year?
I think that's something we kind of always believed in, is that we can play with the top teams in this league, and it's just a matter of finding a way to close out a game and to get that bounce or score that goal or that save. So I think that's something we're still working on, but we definitely know that we're a top team and can play with any of the top teams.
You guys have had a lot of really big wins, and by big wins, I mean size-wise in terms of the score gap against the opponents. When you guys are clicking, is it just one of those things where there's no stopping us now?
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things where you get one and then the floodgates open, and definitely getting that first one helps with the confidence and takes a little bit of weight off the shoulder. So, yeah, I think we should try spreading those goals out over a couple more games, but we'll get there.
Playing your former team, usually you get a chance to go out and have lunch, dinner with your former teammates, hang out on a rare off day. How challenging was that this year? Because I know there were some guys on that team that you played with and you probably wanted to spend a lot of time with.
Yeah, there's some guys on that team that I was pretty close with, and it was kind of unfortunate with COVID and not being able to get to see them. But I saw them on the ice and in warm-ups. I got to say hi and whatever. But once the game was on, it was all business, and it was fun playing against those guys and competing against them.
Last year, you guys had a really good year. You and South Carolina were neck and neck battling for the South Division title. Obviously, that got cut short. So did that kind of give you even more fuel going into this year, because you had an opportunity to go deep, but because of the situation in the country, it didn't get a chance to?
Yeah, for sure. I think anytime that you've got a team that can go deep in the playoffs and make it to the championship, it's definitely frustrating, especially with the way the season ended last year. But yeah, this year it's been good, and we're trying to work towards that too.
You've seen some of the better teams in the league recently, Wichita and Florida. You've gotten wins over both of those teams. How do you look at the level of the competition in this league? And as we talked about earlier, your guys' ability to, even though you may not have gotten a series win, still be able to compete with them night in and night out?
Yeah, the parity this year is incredible. It's really hard to say what team's the best team, and we've played the top teams from the West, and we've done well against them, or played well at least. And I think the difference between them and us is just closing out those games and getting those wins, which is something that I think we're getting really close to, and hopefully we can do moving forward.
You'll get your first look at Jacksonville this week. So give me a scouting report, because we did not see them since a couple of years ago. So what's a typical Jacksonville Icemen game look like?
Jacksonville, they're a pretty good team. We played them a lot last year in Florida, and they're a bit of a bigger and not as quick team. I haven't looked at their roster on who they got coming back and how similar the team is from last year, but they're a good rival, and there's always some good games between them.
You're going to have a lot of 3-3s coming up these next few weeks. What does that do on the toll for the body? How is it different this year now that you've already had a chance to go through it last year? But even then, Florida does a lot of the Wednesday, Friday, Saturday thing.
Yeah, the 3-3s are getting a little bit old, to be honest, but it's just you got to do a lot of maintenance on your body and make sure you're getting the proper rest, because come that third game, you're pretty run down, and typically those third games have been afternoon games. So no, it's just you got to get a good warm up in and really listen to your body and make sure you're taking care of it.
Last year when you did those Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays, did you try and go as light as possible on Thursdays, maybe not even skate, just so that you could essentially treat it almost like a 3-3?
Yeah, usually the Thursday practice last year would be a lighter 30-minute day, maybe just power play, penalty kill, just so that you're feeling good for the next day. But yeah, typically those Thursdays aren't too taxing.
You're a player who, as we talked about, not necessarily going to light the world on fire offensively, but you're going to put up your points here and there, which is obviously a big contribution to the team. But when you leave a game at the end of a night, what do you look at to be some of the things that would indicate, yeah, you know what, I played really well tonight?
I think one thing I kind of hang my hat on it is being hard to play against. So if I'm winning my battles down low and if I'm making good outlet passes to my wingers, because I'd rather have the puck in their hands than ours, is they can take it down the ice. So I think my battles down low and just being hard to play against is something that I kind of evaluate my game on.
Very good. Adam, I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me. Great job on the Florida trip, and let's hope that things continue well here as you got a lot of home games in April. I know the fans want to see some big wins.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, DJ.
Adam Smith, our Unified Bank profile tonight for the Nailers. Coming up, more of interesting coverage of the Nailers Broadcast Network presented by Main Street Bank.